Hello, and welcome to OSHA Pro's free tutorial on Lockout Tagout for affected employees. We will be discussing what Lockout and Tagout is, what the affected employee can and cannot do, along with some of the different kinds of lockout devices used. We'll also go over the different types of energy that will be locked and tagged out. And finally, there will be a small quiz following the end of the tutorial that you can take at your own pace. So let's begin with what Lockout and Tagout is. Lockout and tagout refers to a specific practice and procedure to safeguard employees from the unexpected energization or startup of machinery or equipment. It also protects them from the release of hazardous energy during service or maintenance activities. An authorized employee is a person who has completed a lockout tagout training course and is responsible for servicing and maintenance of equipment. Authorized employees are the only ones that can apply and remove lockout and tags. They must tell all employees in the area that shutdown is about to happen to the equipment, regardless of whether they are affected by the shutdown. Next, they must explain what they are doing to the machine or equipment and which device they are going to use. For example, let's say an authorized employee needs to work on a piece of equipment. First, they would tell all other employees that they are going to be working on that piece of equipment and what they will be doing. They would explain that they will use a lock on the energy source. The lock is the device. Finally, before removal of the locks or tags, they must tell all the same employees that they are going to remove the locks or tags from the equipment. Only authorized employees may apply lockout tagout. Affected employees are not qualified to lockout tagout a piece of equipment or machinery which needs maintenance or servicing. An affected employee can be a person who works on or around the area where equipment may be locked or tagged out. Also, affected employees should not remove or tamper with locks or tags for any reason. They can't attempt to start equipment or machines that are locked or tagged out. Doing so could endanger their lives and the lives of others. Training and communication. Your company should have a lockout tagout procedure already in place. Your company should also use the same type of locks and tags throughout all their facilities. That means all locks and tags need to be the same shape, size, and color throughout the company. The company should also make sure their tags use the same print and letter format throughout the company. Each affected employee shall be instructed in the purpose and use of the energy control procedure. Now we are going to talk about what lockout is and does. Lockout is where an authorized person places a lock on an energy source so that maintenance or inspection of the equipment can take place in a safe environment. The equipment being controlled cannot be operated until the lockout device is removed by an authorized employee. Tagout is a placement of a tag on an energy isolation device in accordance with an established procedure. This indicates that the energy isolation device or the equipment being controlled may not be operated until the tagout device is removed. In this slide and the next slide, we are going to go over the different types of lockout devices. The first type of lockout device is the light switch device. This device prevents someone from turning the power on to its power source. This device is used when you need to change a light bulb or if a machine you need to fix uses a light switch. The fluid and gas valve lockout prevents air, water, gas, or steam lines from being opened, along with preventing air, water, gas, or steam from flowing through the lines, causing parts to move in machinery and/or equipment. In the picture to the left is a lockout of an electrical panel. This happens when you don't have an electrical disconnection next to a machine. Then you can attach a lock to the electrical panel. The next picture to the left shows that there are also individual circuit breaker locks. Sometimes individual circuit breaker locks are a better choice than locking the electrical panel cover, since in an emergency it may be necessary to get into the panel to shut off the other breakers. You don't have to have a lockout procedure for a machine if all of its energy is controlled by pulling the plug and the worker maintains exclusive control of the plug. If that is not the case, The photo to the right shows how to lock out a plug at the end of an electrical cord. Group lockout tagouts are for authorized employees only. When more than one person is involved in fixing the machine or equipment, group lockout tagout should be used by each authorized employee in the group. The group should designate a group leader to make sure that everyone is done working before startup is engaged. Each authorized employee shall attach and remove their own device when they are done working. The lockout tagout device must be removed only by the worker who placed it. The group lockout tagout leader is the last person to remove their lockout tagout device. Here are the different types of tags that may be used in the lockout tagout process. Tags can go along with a lockout device as an additional warning. Tags and their means of attachment must be made to withstand the work environment conditions that they encounter in the workplace, such as water, high winds, and different types of chemicals. These are different types of lockout tagout signs that might be posted in the workplace. This slide shows the different types of energy that may be hazardous if not controlled: electrical, mechanical, chemical, hydraulic, and pneumatic. We will be going into more detail about these types of energy in the next few slides. Electrical energy is when electricity creates motion, light, or heat. Electricity can be live or stored and could cause electrical shock, electrical arc, and physical burns. Mechanical energy can either be kinetic, which is mechanical energy in motion, or potential, which is mechanical energy that is stored. Mechanical energy moves parts such as shafts, propellers, belts, chains, and pulleys. The release of mechanical energy may result in an individual being crushed or struck by the object. Chemical energy is the energy released when a substance undergoes a chemical reaction. The energy is normally released as heat, but could be released in other forms, such as pressure. A common result of a hazardous chemical reaction is fire or explosion. Hydraulic energy uses compressed liquids, such as hydraulic fluids, to energize equipment. This energy can sometimes still exist or be stored when the machinery is turned off. For example, hydraulic fluids can move machinery parts even when the motor or electricity is off, if a certain valve is open. When it is released in an uncontrolled manner, individuals may be crushed or struck by moving machinery, equipment, or other items. Pneumatic energy is the energy stored within pressurized air. Like hydraulic energy, when under pressure, air can be used to move heavy objects and power equipment. Examples include spraying devices, power washers, or other machinery. When pneumatic energy is released in an uncontrolled manner, individuals may be crushed or struck by moving machinery, equipment, or other items. Lockout tagout is applied for only authorized personnel. Lockout tagout is applied during the servicing of equipment like cleaning, replacing parts, changing tools, or general inspection of the machine. Companies should always retrain their affected employees when a change in job assignment occurs, or when there is a change in machines, equipment, or processes that present new hazards, a change in energy control procedures, or whenever periodic inspections reveal that changes are needed. Also, whenever an employer has a reason to believe there are deviations in employee knowledge or use of procedures. So by way of review, an authorized employee is responsible for notifying affected employees that lockout tagout is occurring. Affected employees should not attempt to start the equipment, nor should they remove or tamper with locks or tags for any reason. Unauthorized removal of locks and tags upon startup of the equipment could endanger the employee's life and the lives of their coworkers. This concludes the speaking part of the free tutorial, and now begins the quiz. Good luck, and have a safe day.